The lights in the room dimmed. This one coach stayed behind and walked on the side of the room. Then he just kept slamming the doors as if the other coaches was trying to break in. Felt like it was some angry dogs or some wild animals, and we was on the other side. At this point, it's 3-4 coaches with their shirts ripped off. So to be a head coach in college football, you need a pretty wide set of skills. You need to know the game of football inside and out and have a good enough understanding to be able to convey that to a group of men older, your assistant coaches, and younger, your players. You got to get all these guys to buy into your system and your message, then work cohesively as one to go out on the field, execute, and then ultimately have success. But even if you do all of that perfectly, if you're no good in one specific skill in college football, you're going to have some issues. Of course, we're talking about recruiting. Today, we're going to discuss 5 crazy tactics that college football head coaches have used in order to sign players. If you're new here, my name is FlemLo Raps. If you enjoy college football content, be sure to go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you dig the video, click the thumbs up button and share it on social media. Helps the channel to grow. Alright, man, let's get it. Alright, coming in at number 5, Mike London using stalker-like tactics to sign a recruit. So while Mike London as a head coach is the definition of average with a 52-51 record, back when he was at Virginia, he proved to be a decent recruiter. He had some off-the-wall tactics that probably scared his number of recruits away, but at the same time, it probably also attracted a certain number of recruits. You know what I say, be you, some will love it, some will hate it, let the chips fall. But yo, take a look at this stalker-like letter that he sent the 3-star prospect, Jeffrey Farrar. Bruh, this thing reads, Jeff, you commit on the, or is that London? Bro, I can't even tell. This man is tripping, bro. This is a crazy letter. Who does this? But Farrar did commit to Virginia. However, turns out after all of that, he did not qualify and ended up having to go to another school, junior college, and eventually USF. Of course, Mike London is no longer with Virginia. Crazy story. Alright, man, coming in at number 4, former NC State coach Chuck Amata called the recruit and sung to him. So back in 2002, cornerback AJ Dawson was a top recruit in North Carolina. A whole week before signing day, he committed to UNC. Out the gate, I'm going to UNC. North Carolina State coach Chuck Amata called this man and started singing Dean Martin's Return to Me. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know what the hell that song actually sounds like a bit before my time, but the best part, it worked. Davis ultimately signed with the Wolfpack and he ended up starting 23 games. So there you go. Sometimes crazy works. Alright, coming in at number 3, Oregon fans, this one's for you. On January 15th, 2003, Gary Campbell had a crazy day, right? Gary Campbell's one of the assistant coaches for Oregon, by the way, or he was. He was on the way to go visit a junior college recruit, JJ Arrington, when his wife called his phone and said, I just hit the jackpot. He just won $2.7 million. Now at this point, you think Gary Campbell would feel a little bit less obligated to complete his task on his job. But this man really loved Oregon. And this story is going to prove it. So he meets up with JJ Arrington. But the thing is, Oregon's deadline to sign JUCO recruits is January 15th. It was that day. That day was the deadline. But the meeting went past midnight, so then it was January 16th. It was past the deadline. At this point, Arrington still hadn't signed. So what ended up happening was Coach Campbell went to the hotel Arrington was staying at and had this man forge his father's signature and falsify the time on the letter of intent. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This probably happens every day. Like, it's probably happening right now. But I don't like that he put the kid in that situation. You feel me? I didn't think that was cool. And yeah, the NCAA did end up investigating that situation, which is how we know the story. And JJ Arrington was released by Oregon. Now this story this time happened to work out because JJ Arrington went on to ECU, had a great career, went pro. Cool, everything's good. Gary Campbell got suspended for a week and then was back at Oregon, not to mention, he's a millionaire. And if that's not enough, he ended up being the longest tenured coach in FBS football history. He did recently leave Oregon like just last year. I struggled on which one of these to make number 1 and which one to make number 2. But the one that I ultimately chose to be number 1, I just think it's the craziest one. But this one is pretty crazy too, just because of who it's involving. You would just never guess that this distinguished coach would even have to do something like this. But apparently he did it. So number 2, Nick Saban. I mean, stop for a second and imagine what it must feel like to get a recruit letter from Nick Saban. Now stop one more time and imagine what it must feel like to get 105 letters from Nick Saban on the same day. Well, running back Alvin Kamara, who eventually ended up at Tennessee and is now playing for the Saints, apparently was one of Nick Saban's favorite high school running backs because he sent this man 105 letters, bro. And get this, none of the letters were duplicates. None of them were the same. Now, did Nick Saban himself write these letters? No. That's technically not a fact, but come on, man. It's like, no way. I'm pretty sure Nick Saban got better things to do than to write 105 letters to one recruit who did sign with Alabama but transferred out. I don't know, but it's a crazy story, bro. 105 letters from Nick Saban, whether he wrote them or not. You go for a year, then you dip out and go to Tennessee and beast out. Alright, man, the number 1 craziest recruiting tactic used by a coach is gonna go to, you're not even gonna be surprised when you hear this name, Lane Kiffin. This story is pretty crazy. It's also kind of dope. Like, just listen. So first off, we all know Lane Kiffin can be unorthodox at times. Personally, I love it. It's entertaining as hell. Okay, this is a first-person account from defensive lineman Garrison Smith. The lights in the room dimmed. This one coach stayed behind and walked on the side of the room. Then he just kept slamming the doors as if the other coaches was trying to break in. Felt like it was some angry dogs or some wild animals, you know, and we was on the other side. Bam, the door swung open and the Tennessee assistants rushed into the room. At this point, it's 3-4 coaches with their shirts ripped off. It was like 10 Tennessee players, including Eric Berry. So they ran down from behind the recruits to meet the coaches out on the floor. And they was just chanting, UT Wild Boys, UT Wild Boys. At this point, all the prospects jumped out of their seats and joined in the chant. After things calmed down, the Tennessee recruiting coordinator, Ed Orgeron, who's now head coach at LSU, gave a rousing pep talk. Everybody was hype and feeling it. Even the podium got knocked over. Podium got knocked over. Podium got knocked over. I don't know how many of the recruits that was there actually signed, but that is a crazy story. Anyway, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. That was 5 crazy recruiting tactics by college football coaches. Don't forget to hit me up in the comment section. Let me know how you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different. If you did dig it, like button, subscribe. Y'all know the routine. Other than that, I'm gonna holler at you next time. FlemLo Raps. Wow.